Deuteronomy chapter 10. The second pair of tablets. At that time the Lord said to me, Hew 2 tablets of stone like the first, and come up to me on the mountain, and make an ark of wood, and I will write on the tablets the words that were on the first tablets which you broke, and you shall put them in the ark. So I made an ark of acacia wood, and hewed 2 tablets of stone like the first, and went up the mountain with the 2 tablets in my hand. And he wrote on the tablets, as at the first writing, the 10 commandments which the Lord had spoken to you on the mountain out of the midst of the fire on that day of the assembly, and the Lord gave them to me. And I turned and came down from the mountain, and put the tablets in the ark which I had made, and there they are, as the Lord commanded me. The people of Israel journeyed from Beeroth Bene Jekha to Mosera. There Aaron died, and there he was buried, and his son Eleazar ministered as priest in his stead. From there they journeyed to Gadgoda, and from Gadgoda to Jotbatha, a land with brooks of water. At that time the Lord set apart the tribe of Levi to carry the ark of the covenant of the Lord, to stand before the Lord, to minister to him, and to bless in his name to this day. Therefore Levi has no portion or inheritance with his brothers. The Lord is his inheritance. As the Lord your God said to him, I stayed on the mountain as at the first time, 40 days and 40 nights, and the Lord hearkened to me that time also. The Lord was unwilling to destroy you. And the Lord said to me, Arise, go on your journey at the head of the people, and they may go in and possess the land which I swore to their fathers to give them. The essence of the law. And now, Israel, what does the Lord your God require of you, but to fear the Lord your God, to walk in all his ways, to love him, to serve the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and to keep the commandments and statutes of the Lord, which I commanded you this day for your good. Behold, to the Lord your God belong heaven and the heaven of heavens, the earth with all that is in it. And yet the Lord set his heart in love upon your fathers, and chose their descendants after them, you above all peoples, as at this day. Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your heart, and be no longer stubborn. For the Lord your God is God of gods and Lord of lords, the great, the mighty, and the terrible God, who is not partial and takes no bribe. He executes justice for the fatherless and the widow, and loves the sojourner, giving him food and clothing. Love the sojourner therefore, for you were sojourners in the land of Egypt. You shall fear the Lord your God, and you shall serve him and cleave to him, and by his name you shall swear. He is your praise. He is your God, who has done for you these great and terrible things which your eyes have seen. Your father went down to Egypt 70 persons, and now the Lord your God has made you as the stars of heaven for multitude. Deuteronomy chapter 11. Rewards for obedience. You shall therefore love the Lord your God, and keep his charge, his statutes, his ordinances, and his commandments always. And consider this day, since I am not speaking to your children who have not known or seen it, consider the discipline of the Lord your God, his greatness, his mighty hand and outstretched arm, his signs and his deeds which he did in Egypt, to Pharaoh, the king of Egypt, and to all his land, and what he did to the army of Egypt, to their horses and to their chariots, how he made the water of the Red Sea overflow them as they pursued after you, and how the Lord has destroyed them to this day, and what he did to you in the wilderness until you came to this place, and what he did to Dathan and Abiram, the sons of Eliab, son of Reuben, and how the earth opened its mouth and swallowed them up, and their households, their tents, and every living thing that followed them in the midst of all Israel. For your eyes have seen all the great work of the Lord which he did. You shall therefore keep all the commandments which I command you this day, that you may be strong and go in and take possession of the land which you are going to over and possess, and that you may live long in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give to them and to their descendants, a land flowing with milk and honey. For the land which you are entering to take possession of it is not like the rest of Egypt from which you have come, where you have sowed your seeds and watered it with your feet like a garden of vegetables. But the land which you are going over to possess is a land of hills and valleys, which drinks water by the rain from heaven, and a land which the Lord your God cares for. The eyes of the Lord your God are always upon it, from the beginning of the year to the end of the year. And if you will obey my commandments which I command you to this day, to love the Lord your God and to serve him with all your heart and with all your soul, he will give rain for your land in season, and early rain and later rain, that you may gather in grain and wine and your oil. And he may give grass in your fields for the cattle, and you shall eat and be full. Take heed lest your heart be deceived, and you turn aside and serve other gods and worship them, and the anger of the Lord be kindled against you, and he shut up the heavens, so that there be no rain, and the land yield no fruit, and you perish quickly of the good land which the Lord gives you. You shall therefore lay up these words of mine in your heart and in your soul, and you shall bind them as a sign upon your hand, and they shall be as frontlets between your eyes. And you shall teach them to your children, talking of them when you are sitting in your house, and when you are walking by the way, and when you lie down, and when you rise. And you shall write them upon the doorposts of your houses and upon your gates, that your days and the days of your children may be multiplied in the land which the Lord swore to your fathers to give them, as long as the heavens are above the earth. For if you will be careful to do all these commandments which I command you to do, loving the Lord your God, walking in all his ways, and cleaving to him, then the Lord will drive out all these nations before you, and you will dispossess nations greater and mightier than yourselves. Every place on which the sole of your foot treads shall be yours. Your territory shall be from the wilderness and Lebanon, and from the river Euphrates, to the western sea. No man shall be able to stand against you. The Lord your God will lay the fear of you and the dread of you upon all the land that you shall tread, as he promised you. Behold, I set before you this day a blessing and a curse. The blessing, if you obey my commandments, the Lord your God, which I command you this day, and the curse, if you disobey the commandments of the Lord your God, but turn aside from the way which I command you this day, to go after other gods which you have not known. And when the Lord your God brings you into the land which you are entering to take possession of it, you shall set the blessing on Mount Gerizim and the curse on Mount Ebal. Are they not beyond the Jordan, west of the road, towards the going down of the sun, in the land of the Canaanites who live in Arabah, over against Gilgal, beside the oak of Moreh? For you are to pass over the Jordan to go in to take possession of the land which the Lord your God gives you, and when you possess it and live in it, you shall be careful to do all the statutes and the ordinances which I set before you to this day. Deuteronomy chapter 12. Pagan shrines to be destroyed. These are the statutes and ordinances which you shall be careful to do in the land which the Lord, the God of your father, has given you to possess all the days that you live upon the earth. You shall surely destroy all the places where the nations whom you shall dispossess served their gods, upon the high mountains and upon the hills and under every green tree. You shall tear down their altars and dash in pieces their pillars and burn their asherim with fire. You shall hew down the graven images of their gods and destroy their name out of that place. You shall not do so to the Lord your God, but you shall seek the place which the Lord your God will choose out of all your tribes to put his name and make his habitation there. Thither you shall go. And thither you shall bring your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and the offering that you present, your votive offerings, your freewill offerings, and the firstlings of your herd and of your flock. And there you shall eat before the Lord your God, and you shall rejoice, you and your households, in all that you undertake in which the Lord your God has blessed you. You shall do according to all that we are doing here this day, every man doing whatever is right in his own eyes. For you have not as yet come to the rest and to the inheritance which the Lord your God gives you. But when you go over the Jordan and live in the land which the Lord your God gives to inherit, and when he gives you rest from all your enemies round about, so that you live in safety, then to the place which the Lord your God will choose to make his name dwell there, thither you shall bring all that I command you, your burnt offerings and your sacrifices, your tithes and the offering that you present, and all your votive offerings which you vowed to the Lord. And you shall rejoice before the Lord your God, you and your sons, your daughters, your men servants and your maid servants, and the Levite that is within your towns, since he has no portion or inheritance with you. Take heed that you do not offer your burnt offering at every place that you see, but at the place which the Lord will choose in one of your tribes. There you shall offer your burnt offerings, and there you shall do all that I am commanding you. A prescribed place of worship. However, you may slaughter and eat flesh within any of your towns as much as you desire, according to the blessing of the Lord your God, which he has given you. The unclean and the clean may eat of it, as of the gazelle and as of the hart. Only you shall not eat blood. You shall pour it out upon the earth like water. You may not eat within your towns the tithe of your grain, or of your wine, or of your oil, or the firstlings of your herd, or of your flock, or any of your votive offerings which you vow, or your freewill offerings, or the offering that you present. But you shall eat them before the Lord your God in the place which the Lord your God will choose, you and your sons and your daughters, your manservant and your maidservant, and the Levite who is within your towns, and you shall rejoice before the Lord your God in all that you undertake. Take heed that you do not forsake the Levite as long as you live in your land. When the Lord your God enlarges your territory as he has promised you, and you say, I will eat flesh because you crave flesh, you may eat as much flesh as you desire. If the place which the Lord your God will choose to put his name there is too far from you, then you may kill any of your herd or your flock which the Lord has given you, as I have commanded you, and you may eat within your towns as much as you desire. Just as the gazelle or the hart is eaten, so you may eat of it, the unclean and the clean alike, you may eat of it. Only be sure that you do not eat the blood, for the blood is the life, and you shall not eat the life with the flesh. You shall not eat it. You shall pour it out upon the earth like water. You shall not eat it, that all may go well with you and with your children after you, when you do what is right in the sight of the Lord. But the holy things which are due from you, and your votive offerings you shall take, and you shall go to the place which the Lord will choose, and offer your burnt offerings, the flesh and the blood, on the altar of the Lord your God. The blood of your sacrifices shall be poured out on the altar of the Lord your God, but the flesh you may eat. Be careful to heed all these words which I command you, that it may go well with you, and with your children after you forever, when you do what is good and the right in the sight of the Lord your God. Warning against idolatry. When the Lord your God cuts off before you the nations whom you go in to dispossess, and you dispossess them and dwell in their land, take heed that you be not ensnared to follow them after they have been destroyed before you, and that you do not inquire about their gods, saying, how did these nations serve their gods, that I also may do likewise? You shall not do so to the Lord your God, for every abominable thing which the Lord hates they have done for their gods. For they even burn their sons and their daughters in the fire to their gods. Everything that I command you shall be careful to do. You shall not add to it or take from it.